Hello students. Today we are going to learn the second part. We'll continue with the lesson The Broken Gate, written by Enid Blyton. So last video you have already seen till the paragraph 16. If you have not watched it, please go through that video. So we'll continue with the next part. I was swinging on it when it broke, said Jack bravely, though he didn't feel at all brave, for Twinkle was frowning. "Oh, so your weight broke my gate, did it?" said Old Man Twinkle, and he looked fierce. "Well, not exactly," said Jack. "What do you mean, not exactly?" asked Twinkle. So, in the last part, you had already seen that when Old Man Twinkle had asked him about the broken gate, he said he knew about it. So, when Old Man had asked him what he knew, he says that he was swinging on it when he broke it. He was swinging on it and it broke. And he said it bravely, but actually he was not feeling any brave at all. And Twinkle was frowning. He was sad. He did not expect it. And Twinkle says, "The gate broke because of your weight, did it?" So he looked fierce. Now the old man was fierce. What is fierce? Violent or aggressive, angry. So Jack says, "Not exactly," he says. And then Twinkle asks him, "What do you mean, not exactly? Just now you told it broke because you were swinging. But now you're saying it's not because of your weight." Because Jack, as you know, he was a small boy. He was very thin. He was not that fat. And because of a thin person, how can a gate break? "Oh, please, sir, don't be angry. But you see, some other boys and I were all swinging together on it and it broke," said Jack. "I wanted to come and tell you, really, I did. But the others said no, and I couldn't give them away, could I? I stayed to see if I could mend the gate. That's what I was doing out in your yard." So Jack says now, "Oh, please, sir, don't be angry. But you see, actually, what had happened was my other friends and I, we all were sitting on it and it broke. I wanted to come and tell you about this. I really wanted to come and tell you. But others, my friends, they said no to me. And I couldn't go against my friends, could I? No, I can't. So I stayed to see if I could mend the gate. I could repair the gate. That's what I was doing it in your backyard." "I see," said Old Man Twinkle, and he didn't look quite so fierce now. "Well, who were the other boys?" "Don't be angry with me, Mr. Twinkle, but I really can't tell tales," said poor Jack. "They are my friends, you see, and I don't want them to get into trouble." Now the old man says, "Oh, I see, okay. Now he doesn't look so fierce, he doesn't look so arrogant or angry. Well, who were the other boys?" he asked. So he wants to know who were the other boys. So what does Jack say? "Don't be angry with me, Mr. Twinkle, but I cannot tell you that. I cannot tell because they are my friends, you see, and I don't want them to get into trouble. So I don't want to tell who they were." "Quite so," said Old Man Twinkle. "And now I'm going to tell you something. The boys' names were Harry, Peter, George, and Henry. You see, I know them all." Jack stared in surprise. "How did you know?" he asked. "Did the boys tell you after all?" Now the Old Man Twinkle says, "Okay, like quite so, okay. And now I'm going to tell you something." So Old Man says, "Now I'm going to tell you something." To whom? To Jack. And what does he say? He says the names of those boys whom Jack was not ready to talk about. So he says those boys' names were Harry, Peter, George, and Henry. "See, I know them. Even if you don't tell me, I know who it was." So Jack was shocked. He was surprised. "How did you know?" Did the boys tell you after all? So he thought maybe the boys only told him. So maybe the boys, my friends, told you, right? Not one of them, said the old man Twinkle. They pretended to be surprised. They pretended not to know. They told me untruths. But I happened to see you all swinging on the gate when it broke. So I knew all about it, you see. So what does old man Twinkle say? Not one of them, that is, not even a single boy told me. They all pretended to be surprised. They all pretended as if they didn't know anything about it. And they told me lies. But I happened to see you all swinging on the gate when it broke. That is, I was there and I watched everything that happened. So I knew all about it, you see. Even if you lied to me or hid the truth with me, I knew everything. Oh, said Jack, and he stared at Mr. Twinkle again. Well, please choose one of the boys, he said. They are nice boys, really, although they didn't own up about the gate. I have chosen my boy, said Mr. Twinkle. Who is he? Asked Jack. So Jack he stares at Mr. Twinkle again and he says, okay, please choose one of the boys. You know, they are really nice boys. They are my friends. They are really good. Although they did not tell you the truth about the gate, they lied about it, but they are actually very good. So Mr. Twinkle says, I have already chosen my boy. I know who I have chosen. So Jack is curious and he asks, who is he? He is you, said Mr. Twinkle. Yes, I know you are small, but you will grow, especially if Mrs. Twinkle makes you pudding every night. And I know you are at the bottom of the class for lots of things, but good food will make your brains grow too. And I know you are a bit ragged, but a little pocket money will buy you better clothes. So Mr. Twinkle chooses whom? He is you. So he tells, it is you, Jack. I have chosen you. Yes, I know you are small. You will grow. Especially if Mrs. Twinkle, that is my wife, she makes good pudding every night. And if she does that, then by eating that, you will grow. So don't tell me that you are small. And I know you are at the bottom of the class for lots of things. I know you're not that smart also, you're not that clever also. But no problem. When you have good food, obviously your brains also will grow. And I know you're a bit ragged too. That is, you are a little poor. You don't have proper clothes also. So no problem. The pocket money will help you buy some good clothes also. Oh, Mr. Twinkle, cried Jack. But, why do you choose a boy like me? The others are bigger and cleverer. Jack was surprised. He did not know what to say, so he was shocked. And he says, oh, Mr. Twinkle, but why do you choose a boy like me? Because others are bigger and cleverer. They're smarter than me. They're taller than me. I am so weak and small. Why do you want a boy like me? They may be, said Mr. Twinkle, but what I want is a boy who is brave enough to own up when things go wrong. I want a boy who can speak the truth. I want a boy who is loyal, and if you're loyal to your friends, as you have been just now, you will be loyal to me too. I have chosen the right boy, Jack. Ah, I have chosen the right boy. So now Mr. Twinkle says, I know they are. They may be. That is, they may be tall, they may be smarter than you. But what I want is a boy who is brave enough to own up when things go wrong. That is, if I want a boy who will only speak the truth. I don't want somebody who cannot accept the wrong things that they have done. And I want a boy who is loyal. Who is a loyal person? Loyal means firm and constant in one's support of a person. That is, you are being loyal, you are being constant. You agree with that person, you support that person. So he says, I want a person who is loyal, and I know I have seen you being loyal to your friends now. So I know that you will be loyal to me too. So I have chosen the right boy, Jack. You don't worry. I know I have chosen the right boy for this. So he had. For Jack is with him still, but not as errand boy. Oh no, he is the head of the shop now and doing very well indeed. All because of a broken gate? Wasn't it strange? So what did Twinkle do? Old man Twinkle? He said so that is he took Jack as his companion. He took him as a small boy who had helped him in his shop. But now what happened? Jack is still with him. And he's not just an errand boy, he's not just a helper now. He is the head of the shop now. He owns that shop now and he's doing very well. And all because of a broken gate. Wasn't it strange?